Oh my gosh,
JPO,
we're live.
we're live. Oh my goodness, yes we are. We are live here on the Movie Hero Network for the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. I am Austin Pez Howell, and I'm here with my other marks of the lonely sort. Richie Goodacre, how's it going?
Yeah, good, good. It's been a bit of a tough week given the news, but we'll get to it. But yeah, and I'm holding up. I'm holding up. We're doing good. I'm gonna be glad to talk about. I think talking about it will be therapeutic, and we'll have a good show.
Okay, I didn't realize you'd be so broken up about everything. JPO, how you doing, sir? Are you as distraught as Richie is? Or are you doing all right?
Not as, but I am prepared for it though. I jotted some notes down. We're gonna have some career perspectives. We're gonna salute those wrestlers that we lost in contract wise this week.
I was gonna say we didn't have any major deaths. We should say straight up. We're talking about deletion. No, we'd be broken up if it was a death we were talking about. But we're gonna talk some news. A little later, we're gonna get into AEW Dynasty, which we saw, and get into all the details of that of what was I thought a pretty damn good show, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of the news, obviously, to get started. And as you guys were referring to, there was a bevy of releases from WWE this week. JPO, you want to run down maybe everybody who was? You said you took some notes. Yeah, run them down.
I can kind of take charge of this one here. Yeah,
please.
We start off with the one that's most surprising to me, just from a wrestling standpoint. Although nobody from a booking standpoint is surprising. Sometimes you get those releases where it's like they were in the middle of this, they were doing this. Not true for this time here. Everyone here kind of was not used much in the last year. First off, we got To the Moon, Cameron Grimes, coming off a really good pedigree already, former TNA Tag Champion, 3 times X Division Champion before getting signed. It did have some gold in the WWE. He held the North American Championship, and as of this writing, if they never bring it back again, which they seem to do every decade or so, he is the last ever $1 million champion, too. He'll go down as that if they don't ever revive that again for the 5th time. He would take
mental notes for any future wrestling trivia out there.
Yeah. Cameron Grimes, last $1 million champion. Him and LA Knight both had the run.
They also have a power card in the WWE 2K game on General Manager mode called To the Moon. That's kind of insulting now. Like, hey, you got a power card from me. Anyway.
I'm sure it won't be in next year's edition. So he made his NXT Live debut in March 2019. And by June 2019, it's only a couple months because he's already a well-established wrestler. He'd be on television here. Started off okay, May of 2023 last year, so only about a year on main television. He starts off squashing Baron Corbin, one of those ring the bell, hit your finisher, ring the bell again kind of matches here. Gets another win, and then right away we're already off to he disappears for 2 months. And then in fact never wins again. He wins his first 2 matches. Wait, I can't see it. Hey baby.
Don't get your hopes up.
He wins his first 2 matches, disappears for a couple months, and then never wins again here. And in fact, fun book ending, and actually Xia Li has the same thing. He starts off by squashing Baron Corbin, and then he ends up by losing to Baron Corbin's tag team partner, Braun Breaker, in a squash. So that's how he bookends his WWE career. Also, kind of reminiscent of Drake Maverick, too, if you can find it on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. A very passionate promo where he's actually coming into tears when he finds out the news that he's released. But, he says the fire is lit underneath him, and kind of, I think he's kind of hoping to do what, Cody did and Drew did, which is like, all right, I'm going to make you regret releasing me at some point. So, I believe pretty young, too, so I think he's got a future ahead of him. I can easily see a TNA grabbing him back or whoever grabbing him back. If you want to go around real quick into Cameron Grimes' thoughts, I know I'll miss him. I thought he was pretty good.
I'm not as familiar with him because I didn't watch his NXT run. I didn't watch a ton of NXT, so I only saw matches here and there. Richie might have more thoughts than I do, so I'll let Richie kind of take lead on that.
Yeah, I love Cameron Grimes. I think he's had a lot of charisma. I thought his gimmick would work well in the main roster, but they basically dropped the gimmick as soon as he went out there. That's a weird move. That's a questionable move.
One of the classics. Hey, it's kind of working. Well, not on the main roster. We're gonna change it, kind of like Karrion Kross, and
Why? It's just like because it's based on a real thing. Like he came to a lot of money due to the crypto thing, the GameStop thing, and he came to a lot of money. It was fun.
That's why he ended up kind of doing the $1 million thing with DiBiase and such.
Yeah, and he had a fun feud with LA Knight on NXT. He's really entertaining, really, really great, and just organically over. And I'm like, he could have been like a great mid card guy. I could see him as like a US champion or like IC like sort of contender, but they didn't even. I guess that's frustrating. They didn't even try. They didn't even try with him, and he's got so much talent. But yeah, I could see him going to Impact as going back as Trevor Lee. But like, yeah, I would like him to be like probably like a Cody or a Swerve, where they kind of just prove that, hey, look, like you made a mistake releasing me, and then prove your worth, and then go, and then come back, and hopefully they're like, oh, my bad, and actually give him the push that he deserves. I don't know if like world title picture necessarily, but like just as someone who's like like not forgotten about it, someone who's like really in the mix, like but like so someone who's at the very least above jobber status, which is what he found himself in.
Yeah, and I think he could have been a fun like IC US title contender, right in the mix with Dominic, Andrade, Santos, etc. here. Next up, Xia Li, who's been around since the 2017 Mae Young Classic here. In fact, those are her first two appearances, 2017 and the 2018 Mae Young Classic here. By the 2019 Rumble, she would be on television as well, normally for NXT. Again, here's another great cooling off right away. Had some really fun vignettes, like animated vignettes. They were actually pretty dope. Made her SmackDown debut February of 2022, over 2 years ago, defeating Natalya. That was February. Won't see her again until June. So again, right away, you build her up, you bring her out. It's not a Kazarni type level match. It was fine. I don't really know what they wanted, but evidently it wasn't her at the time. You wouldn't see her again until June. She would be a main event exclusive from June through September of 2023. And then for this year, outside of the Rumble and at Battle Royal, again, never on main television here. She would be on Main Event, the TV show, the streaming show on Hulu, losing 2 out of her 3 matches. And again, fun bookend, debuts on television, defeating Natalya. Guess what her last televised match was? Losing to Natalya. So Natalya bookend her career.
It's almost poetic, in a way. It's
those are the 2 that I noticed that for.
Yeah,
that
bookends.
But Xia Li, well, again, I thought had a cool look. I thought she did decently as both a heel and a face. I thought she had good fire and then good mean ass demeanor for a heel. I thought it had potential as well. But again, both NXT wise, well, she kind of did fight for the title a little bit at one point, but then main roster wise, just never ever got off to an actual story of any kind. Any Xia Li mentions by you guys?
Yeah, I know they brought her back into. They not like a call down or anything. But she did stuff in NXT just briefly where. She was, like a challenger for the title.
That's become more common in the last couple of years. Even Cameron Grimes would make 1 or 2 more NXT appearances himself.
Yeah, but but it was at the same week where she was sort of feuding on Raw with the thing. In the mix. I'm like, oh, cool. Have they remembered she's employed and they're going to push her? That's kind of cool because I think she's got a cool look. I liked her on NXT when she was she aligned with that. You remember Boa? Dude, Boa back in the day.
Oh, it's still under contract, evidently. Last time I checked, yeah.
Holy hell, okay. But Boa, and then there was
not released.
I can't remember what she went by now, but the now Wendy Chu, yes. But that was a cool that was a cool gimmick, and it never really went anywhere.
That's definitely a fun trivia fact. Yeah, Wendy Chu, whose gimmick is she's very sleepy, used to be a really Agent Evil woman. Those are 2 gimmicks.
Yeah, Wendy Chu, by the way, is another person you don't see much of, so that does appear well.
I know originally, I don't know if currently, but that did start off as an injury, so that could be the reason we didn't.
Okay, hopefully it's just an injury, not because I don't mind it, but Xia, I think she's it's historic too because I think she's the first Chinese woman to be signed or something. There was something like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought she's good. I think she has some upside. Again, you would think the easiest things go is they'd be good in AEW. I think AEW has too many people as it is. I think TNA would. A lot of these releases here we're going to go through. I think they'd be good pickups for TNA. I think Xia Li fit well in TNA. I think Cameron Grimes, obviously, he's been there, Triple E, TNA. So I think Xia Li would be a good pickup for TNA. So yeah, but she's decent. She's decent. I like the gimmick.
Yeah, one guy who I'm actually surprised about, because I feel like somebody liked him, although I never got too hot on him. Von Wagner was also announced that he has gone as well. Made his NXT live debut May 2019. It'd be a little bit, but September 2021 is finally when he made his televised debut. He was, along with Zion Quinn, who we'll talk about here in a hot second, part of last year's draft. They made a specific mention that these guys are no longer with NXT. They're free agents, which at first seemed like a good sign. It seemed like, oh, okay, they're bound to be on Raw or SmackDown any day now, any week now. But now in retrospect, that was a bad sign. If you're a free agent last year, that seemed to go with, well, we have no plans for you in either brand.
We just don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, evidently, that's what it meant. It meant we don't know what to do with you on NXT, Raw, or SmackDown because, and I think I'll say this for Zion as well, he did make one Raw appearance in a random battle royal that Mustafa Ali won last year. That's his Raw run. His last run would be on. He just lost Alexis King a little bit ago, and he was with Robert Stone. Except for Chelsea Green, who got rehired, everybody Robert Stone has managed has been quit or been fired. Mercedes Martinez, him. I forgot there's somebody else too. I thought that was a fun fact too. So supposedly he's being tried out as a possible producer as well. Now that he's not currently an on-air talent. Any Von Wagner memories?
Nope. I only know the name. Sorry, I couldn't say I'm a part of the Von Wagner fan club. No.
No, I just think that like he's really I feel like he's a Vince dude. Like he was like I remember reading like a funny kind of funny report. It wasn't meant to be funny, but it was like this is back when Vince ran it. It was like, oh, WWE thinks that Von Wagner has all it takes to be a star. So I guess he has a look and like he's big, but he's like all he's missing is charisma. I'm like, you can't like teach. You can't. As words of Enzo Amore, you can't actually teach charisma. You either have it or you don't.
I don't want to be mean, but there was even like an NXT run where like they were mentioning about how he had like brain problems as a kid and like, hey, what are these scars? I don't want to talk about it. Come on, you got to talk to him about it. And I just remember I was like, it's a good angle. I don't think he's selling it correctly.
No, he's just like, I don't know. I just found him like, they wanted him to be something like he's like a second generation dude. Like he's one of the sons.
Yeah. Bo Beverly's son. Yeah, I had to fact check that because I forgot which Beverly was.
Yeah, he's the son of Bo Beverly, and like I guess they wanted to be something. Yeah, like he's got that Vince and Triple H. To be fair, Triple H likes the big dudes. But yeah, he just hadn't like you can want to be you could want someone to be the guy all you want, but like if they don't have like abilities alongside that, it's kind of hard to kind of do anything with them. Kind of like that's why sort of maybe Omos is a special attraction, and Great Khali became a comedy guy. So I think it's just sort of that. I'm sure the guy's great, a nice guy, but yeah, I was just like, he never did anything for me. I just thought he was really quite boring, and I thought it was a weird. I was like, I didn't see star potential that they did. I was like, he's not over. I don't understand this, but anyway, yeah.
Well, who they did see some potential in at one point. Because guess who's coming? Veer is coming, everybody. Veer's coming.
Yeah.
Or Veer Mahan, if you will. May 2018. So again, we're talking about 5-6 years this guy has been around. May 2018 is NXT live debut. In April 2020, so about a couple of years later, he would be on NXT television there. His Raw debut, attempt number 1 Raw debut, would be in September of 2021. Then he was taken off TV because then they were talking about how Veer is coming, and he would come in April of 2022. Win over Dominic. In fact, even a clean win over Rey Mysterio, which is kind of a big thing. 7 squash matches, which is normally be local guys, but occasionally would be a slightly higher guy like a Dom or Mustafa Ali. And then that was it. Those wins that never led to a loss, never led to a match of any kind of a significance. He beat Ray, he beat Dom, he beat 7 other yokels, and that was about it. We're going to return to NXT television in November of 2022. May of 2023, he'd be back to Raw for the 3rd time, but that, again, would only be about 2 to 3 matches, because if you remember, it was him and Sangha losing to Miz and R-Truth to qualify for the ladder match. The first time we saw them on television in 5 months. He'd be in the Andre Battle Royal, and now Veer is no longer coming, at least to Raw or SmackDown anytime soon. R.I.P. Veer. The gimmick. Any Veer thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, sort of. It became a meme at that point. He was like the male Emelina.
Was it? Like, you made me laugh earlier because I'd never seen it. You sent the Veer GIF or whatever, and then one of them was him and like 60 years old or something.
He's old.
Like,
yeah.
I'm still coming. Keep waiting.
But yeah. Like, I feel like it's one of those things. They built him up, and then they like he got in the ring and squashed. Like, oh, okay. And then it was like. And then I mean, he's got some like accolade. They like great athletes. I think he's a really accomplished baseball player or something. If you look at him,
in fact, if you've seen the movie $1 Million Arm with John Hamm, I believe that's actually part of his story. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like there is. I get why he probably signed him, but evidently, as we'll get to, you know how like there was this big push for WWE like to kind of like to make waves in like India. they're probably not doing a show. They're probably not like they're probably holding off on doing the India thing. Considering.
But don't forget we lost Shanky. There was actually another guy that Veer teamed with. I can't remember his name. No offense. Yeah, now we just lost Oliver this year. So I don't think that pushes us strong.
Yeah. So like Veer is I don't know. I think they could have done probably more with the team, to be honest. But like I know that. But I don't know. It's all good. I mean, like Veer, Veer's won the WWE title on my GM mode. So you've got that going for you, Veer.
There you go, Veer. Put that on your wiki.
Put that on your wiki, and look again. He's another guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in TNA because they do. They have hired. Also, they've hired like a lot of what was it? Was it? Because they've hired a lot of like big like sort of similar looking dudes in TNA. Was it that the
Jesus, Richie, how many roster spots does TNA have?
I don't know, but like I don't know. Just I don't see him going to AEW, and I don't know what else you have to be.
Sometimes people can just work the indies for a little while. It's okay.
You got the indies, and like there, I do wonder. Of course, like I don't hope anyone quits unless they just not into it. You never know. This could be the end of some people, unfortunately. Just
Well, he could go back to baseball, yeah, sure. Or do something.
There's a possibility. And then of course it's tag team partner Senga, who actually here's a fun fact of Senga that I didn't know about. He's been around for a hot minute because he's actually a Ring Ka King alumni. If you remember that TNA brother promotion that ran in India for just one season, I believe. So back in 2012. So technically, on paper, Senga is a 12-year vet. But I don't think he did anything as far as cage match is concerned. He did nothing from 2012 until 2018. So I don't know that there's nothing, no one reported results, or there just wasn't any other companies in India. I don't know. Similar to maybe Veer. September 2018 is NXT Live debut. April 2020 NXT TV debut. And then May 2023 they returned to Raw. 3 wins him and Veer did have, and again just like Veer singles run. That it would be 5 months before we saw them lose to Archer and Miz. So again, they never even lost to the tag champs or anything. They had 3 nice solid wins, and then off TV for 5 months, and then the one loss to Truth and Miz. Do we want to just copy and paste what you said for Veer, or are they different?
But I mean, but I don't know. Basically, but I guess that they tried with Shanky to make him babyface, and did you know how when they try to make you babyface and they just give you a dancing gimmick? That's what they do to Shanky.
Well, this Shanky was the gimmick, and then in NXT they kind of had an interesting thing for a minute where Sanga was more of a backstage a peace lover, and then when the bell rang is when he gets serious kind of thing. They tried that for a minute.
Like a Festus thing.
I mean, Festus is more just like he's disturbed. This is just more like, I do love you, but when the bell rings, I kill you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kill you.
I kill you. Yeah. Ring Ka King, by the way, the Ring the Hawk, the guy you like on YouTube. He does a whole deep dive on that. I watched a few of those. That show is. Ring Ka King was an interesting show. So I'll just put it that way.
I had good ratings, but they never put it up for season 2.
Scott Steiner was nuts on that show, as usual. But like, Shank,
just Scott Steiner is nothing that show can be applied to anything in the last 10 years.
I know, but I feel like he turned it up to 11, particularly for the show. He was literally going, trying to, go at fans. But anyway, Shanky. I mean, you can probably tell by the fact I'm talking about other people how much Shanky, how much of an impact Shanky made. But like,
Shanky was my least favorite just because Shanky, like, one, looked like his gear was from Target. Like he just wore a black tank top and like sweats, so he didn't even have a good gear. Didn't have much of a look, and like his ring stuff was just okay. At least Veer looked like he could kill you and had a cool look, and Senga also like at least jacked in a certain way.
Veer looked like a kind of a big like action villain, whereas Shanky is just a dude.
Shank is the guy who was held hostage by Veer. Your penultimate here is Zion Quinn, who I drafted in our A through Z draft. Remember that? November of 2018 is NXT live debut. Wouldn't pop up on television until less than 3 years later, August 2021. Again, as mentioned before, him and Vaughn were free agents during the draft last year, which again, I was like, oh, they must like him. Guess not. Because again, his one Raw appearance, 0 SmackDown appearances until recently. His one Raw appearance was the Random Battle Royal that Mustafa Ali won last year. And then finally squashed to Braun Breaker, another less than 10-second match. And then bye-bye Zion. I thought it had a cool look. He has made a kind of a hype video for his indie run, wherever he's going to go. So he looks like he will continue for a little bit. I know Natalia said some nice things about him as well. Zion Quinn memories, because I know you got a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is all you, Richie, because he's an Australian gentleman, so I'm sure
I actually know a little bit. His real name is Daniel Vidot. He came from the world of rugby. He is a Gold Coast Titans player.
He has a background.
He made it into got signed by WWE. He actually made it when I saw the WWE house show in Brisbane. He made an appearance and he because he did his finisher on Sami Zayn, who was bad mouth in the crowd, was a heel at the time. I obviously I thought they could. I thought he. Yeah, they had good look. I thought they could do something with him. Evidently, there was plans to at some point, because if you look online, there's promotional photos out there of like him and Sonya Deville, like they were going to pair them up or something. So, like as a sort of as a double act thing. So, like that. I don't know. It's weird that didn't come to fruition, but I just again like I don't know why. I don't get the free agent.
Again, TNA sign him, right?
Maybe. I thought I didn't know whether it's good that he's going to keep going. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll be the guy who Googles the pictures tonight. I'll put them up for you.
We're almost done. We know who we got as the main event for.
Sure.
And he's I mean it's encouraging that he's like is going to keep his wrestling career, because I thought maybe he'll he'll go back to rugby, because he could have kind of he's a good rugby player. He could have kind of kind of lucrative career to pursue this dream.
Well, I mean, don't forget you are talking now at this point 4 or 5. You're talking 6 years. So rugby is a pretty tough sport. Like I don't know. I
I mean, it's if you're around if you're turning like 30, you're kind of thinking about retirement.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this dude's been inactive since November 2018. So at the very least, and that's his live debut too. I don't even have their hire dates. Like who knows? He was probably signed at least like June of 2018 too. Actually. Your last one here, who on paper might sound like the most surprising release, because again, you'd be like, wow, they fired a former world champion, Jinder Mahal. There you go. Don't hinder the Jinder back during his heyday there. He was released once already. Would come back in August of 2016. So he's been under the books the second round since August 2016. I remember seeing, I'm pretty sure was it 2017? What's Taker versus Roman Reigns? What Mania is that?
I think that was 2017, 16, yeah.
Because I just remember him losing to Sami Zayn, and then yet by Backlash he was the world champion. By Backlash in 2017, he would be the world champion, hold the title for 170 days, 4 defenses on pay-per-view. So like not a horrible run here, and didn't main event one. Battleground 2017 was, yep, you guessed it, a Punjabi prison match. So and then I'll jump ahead a little bit here, just go to his last year of TV because, well, there ain't much to say. For the last calendar year up until April 2024, or April 2023, he had one normal match on TV. He did the shtick with The Rock, where he gets the job to The Rock in a interview segment, and then he fought Seth Rollins on Raw. That did lead to a match with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. An actual match, like not a squash. It's actually like a 13-minute match according to them, but that's it. Other than that, and the Andre Battle Royal again, and pretty much everyone here was in the Andre Battle Royal. That's all that we got for Jinder.
I was going to say the main thing everybody remembers, the last thing him doing is him coming out as the former champion, and it wasn't The Rock, and it was him instead.
And that was great. That was great.
But that was a great swerve because technically it was true. It was true. Yeah, and it got everybody pissed.
No, no lies were told.
Yeah,
no lies were told.
JP would know if you were telling a lie and whatever verbiage they use. he would fact check you.
So those are your 7, I believe, 7 releases here. Like I said, I think hopefully if it's in their heart, I hope everyone continues here. I know, like I said, Trevor Lee's definitely going to keep going here, which isn't surprising. He's already an indie guy formerly. Zion Quinn looks like he's going to continue, and I think Jinder has said as well that he's not done. So good luck to everyone in their future endeavors. It does suck to hear.
I think Jinder did an interesting interview with Chris Van Vliet already.
I was literally going to mention that came across my feed like literally, what was it, yesterday or the day before he put up an interview with him, so he's already got an interview up there.
It's smart. I'd imagine Jinder legitimately got the news and like called Chris like an hour later.
You want the exclusive first big interview? Yeah.
But
it's not the first time that's happened. Like, Chris has jumped on it a couple times, or the talent jumps on it. I don't know if it's Chris calling Jinder calling Chris, or what.
So he made some interesting things. He thought he said initially the person that was supposed to be like the guy to getting that run and to kind of face Randy Orton at Backlash was Rusev, but Rusev got injured, and so they chose Jinder for obviously the India, to try to get into the India market, but also he at the time Jinder got jacked, and they. Vince and Triple H kind of like those, that kind of physique. So, and
not to be mean, he's definitely a right place, right time kind of guy for that run here because it was kind of out of nowhere. And then after that run, like I said, for 170 days, not too bad. But after that, never really touched it again, even smelled it again.
I think he won the U.S. title at some point, like for a little while. But
he did a little bit for the first year or two after that. He's kind of doing some stuff. Yeah, I just mean like world title wise. I don't think he ever, was close in like a pay-per-view or anything.
Yeah, but that's kind of our main story. Obviously, the one pressing thing that kind of caught a lot of people by surprise.
He would hold the U.S. title very briefly, by the way. Actually, only an 8-day reign. But let's not forget, he did hold another title, the 24/7 title twice.
Right. So just kind of going in rough order here, kind of events. One of the things come out of Raw, Becky Lynch is your new women's champion due to the vacation of Rhea Ripley winning a battle royal, right?
Just a simple
battle royal. Right? Yeah,
not a tournament, not like whatever. Just
Yeah, I mean. All right. I guess she's the reliable person to put it on. I guess. So yeah.
I think she's like she's in that spot where it's like if we're in a bind and you're physically able and you're not injured, you're physically able to. We'll put the title on you. Sucks for Liv. Like Liv's always like the kind of bridesmaid, never the bride kind of thing. She's like being the runner up, and she was runner up here, she's runner up in the Royal Rumble. But I think that'll play into storyline though. So
no, Liv being the one who kind of injured her will definitely come back into play once Ripley's back. I'm pretty assuming that'll be the case. So I mean, that'll happen. But so I guess not terribly surprising to anybody that Becky Lynch won the title. Go ahead.
I'm extremely lukewarm on it here. Again, the good news is, Becky's reliable. She's a main event player, so like, I'm not gonna ever be too mad, and I still am very entertained by her. But I do kind of feel like this could have been the time to have a little fun, to do a segue, to go kind of, a swerve here. You know what I mean? A battle royal is perfect for a bigger person like Nia, or even swerve. I don't know if he can.
Not that swerve. I'm sorry, not that kind of swerve. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that swerve later.
give it a Chelsea Green, a Piper Niven, or I don't know. I thought it would, or make a star. You know what I mean, or something. I just thought Becky winning a simple battle royal doesn't really add to her, and it just kind of seems like go back to kind of status quo. But again, not the worst.
I also get the impression that it was almost like a John Moxley thing. Like I feel like she was probably going to take a break, like how Seth Rollins was like, resting up and taking a break as well. But they were like, hey, can you like hold off on that for a bit? We kind of need you.
I mean that happens in wrestling too, where it's like, hey, listen, if Rhea was here and Rhea would have segued into Liv, we don't need you for a minute, but hey, now we need you, so you're on call, baby. Every wrestler's on call to a degree.
Yeah. And one of the main things I didn't see all of Dynamite, but one of the main things I saw all over social media, Tony Khan getting involved in one of the storylines officially,
and his dad making his debut too.
I saw that, and the picture. Well, the picture of Shad Khan is already becoming like a meme because it's like this confused, like angry look or something, and people are already making the look you make when kind of memes. So it's already becoming a thing. Somebody got a screenshot of it, but him in the front row and the Elite, Jack Perry starting it and kind of the Elite finishing it. An attack on Dynamite. So
the first cell is pretty funny because he gets knocked in the stomach, but he sells it like he gets cold cocked. Like he just, and then he finally, like a few seconds later, goes, "Oh wait," and then like kind of like scrunches up. It's such a weird sell.
Well, it's not exactly a worker, so
I don't know, man. You go over it a couple times in the bag. I've done shit on the fly, like you can.
No, I don't think he's trained even like somebody like me. I trained as a worker when I.
Oh no, but I'm saying at the very least you go over this one spot,
right, and over and over and over again.
It's Daly's place. They don't have they got the keys early. They can go in there what they want.
I know, and I feel like even that, you could walk into the ring and rehearse the entire thing if you want to, full stop. But it was a little awkward. They gave him the whatever they call it now, the Meltzer driver,
the con driver.
The con driver. That's right. They call it the con driver now. Yeah, so they gave him the move and laid him out in the ring. So, interesting, I guess. Him actually physically. We all kind of know he's sort of been involved in on-screen stuff occasionally, making announcements and whatnot, but not really as a character per se. Is that? I mean, would you call it that? He's more like just this kind of personalities in the background.
He's done some mic work even on the fly or like on the fly. Like, all right, fine, you want a match? Like once in a while, once in a blue moon. But I mean, definitely, like you said, here's a future wrestling trivia question. 5 to 10 years, who's the first person who attacked Tony Khan? This is the first physical thing by any means.
But this is where I would almost prefer if they had some kind of on-screen commissioner or something that was a worker, like a Jerry Lynn or somebody, that can do those types of things, and make it look good and know how to properly work the psychology and whatnot and like sell properly. Like I almost wish they had that kind of, on-screen personality besides Tony Khan, like some general manager, commissioner or something. I feel like this is just another thing where it's like, oh yeah, Tony, we also need you to do the spot tonight and book the show and book the travel and talk to the buildings and just another thing, that he's doing. I don't know. It's weird.
I could see them bringing in like an interim like person like in kayfabe to in kayfabe, but I don't know. So, and have a proper like general manager commissioner role. Like I guess they do have that in Ring of Honor, like Jerry Lynn and Stokely Stokely Hathaway.
I know one idea I had was so they announced Omega's return. I don't think he's quite ready to wrestle. Omega's MVP. Could he be the face to the Bucks? Because like at first I was like, oh, the Bucks maybe are gonna run roughshod now because they're the only ones in charge. Acting Tony's not there anymore. But you'd have Omega maybe kind of stepping in for that spot too on TV.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to go with it. Well, I guess we'll have to stay tuned and find out.
See, the other already, they already announced Will Ospreay. Do you have that on there?
Oh no, I didn't have that on here, but I did see that in the thing. Yeah, Will Ospreay versus Roderick
Yeah,
Strong for Double or Nothing, right?
So
yeah.
First, even the match itself was kind of interesting. Did you see what the match was, Pez?
For his Roderick's title, right?
Yeah,
no.
The match Ospreay won to get the shot.
No. So, like a battle royal, but like not really.
No. So here's what it was. It was a gauntlet match. You know, someone comes out during intervals, but it was first fall to a finish, and they never announced how many people, which I thought was funny.
What?
So it ended up being 9 people, by the way, which is a weird amount. I thought it would have been funny if they had cut to the back with like 6 more people in gear. Like, oh fuck, I need to get out there because I don't know. It's a little bit weird because again, it's a lot of like people just disappearing for several minutes.
How many of them, JPO, were people we haven't seen on TV in 6 months?
Our boy Jay Lethal finally got some TV time.
Okay.
It was Jay White, who we have seen, Dante Martin, who's been on the B shows, Pentagon, who's kind of been falling under Kyle O'Reilly. Actually, it was 8 people, evidently. I have Oscar on here twice. Lance Archer, Commander, and Jay Lethal. So those were the 8.
Yeah, you probably didn't need to put Commander in there. I don't know. Commander seems like an odd one now. You could have had someone else.
Again, he was there to Hurricanrana Archer through a table because there even was a table spot. But yeah, no, the thing that I just thought was interesting about it too is, as people that like predict the future and whatnot here, we didn't really predict that Ospreay's going for a second tier title already when we're kind of away from
right. Yeah, we kind of felt like they would just have some stuff for him to do in the meantime and then start and then eventually build up to the title. Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna maybe end up doing title v title. Maybe Tony realizes he has too many titles. He's gonna kill off his international shit, or there's shenanigans and Ospreay loses. Maybe Don Callis fucks him. So it's interesting.
Okay, yeah, because you could see like a faction thing going there because obviously Roddy has his faction and
his faction. Adam Cole is getting more and more healthy. Maybe Cole gets thrown. That's a future match. Cole and Ospreay. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe in the meantime,
Ospreay going for this title, for any title rather.
No, that came across my news when I was checking the news before we were live. I was like, "What? Already? Oh, Roddy and Ospreay. Okay, not that I'm against the match. The match will probably be great. Like,
no, match is dope. Double or Nothing's off to a good start between that Willow and Mercedes had a little bit more build this week. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, no, the match itself is cool. Just the fact that it's happening is a bit like, oh, okay, that's a little bit of a potential pivot in what we kind of figured was a lock in a way.
Right? Yeah. No, totally. And the only other real big thing I have is something that will lead into, I'm sure the news we'll be talking about next week when we go live, is that the draft pools and the rules have officially been announced for the draft that starts tomorrow night.
I guess the other thing, Trick Williams won the NXT title.
Oh, won the NXT title. That's right. Well, I mean, I think we all saw Ilya dropping it relatively soon because he's going to be.
They already
called up very
said,
soon.
Yeah. I do wish they wouldn't do that. Like, I wish they wouldn't say like he's gonna get called to the main roster, and now he's got a huge title match. Right. A little bit of a prediction there, but yeah.
Yeah. So, the rules officially announced. I did pull up kind of the post about it. So it says on SmackDown there will be 4 rounds of 16 total picks. On Raw there will be 6 rounds with 24 total picks. All the champions on the brands are protected. That tracks with the previous drafts. Where they're all kind of locked in there. The women's tag team champions.
Sometimes the champions did switch. So
it says women's tag team champions are eligible for some reason. Okay.
I guess just like when they're not champs, because technically they could go to either brand.
Yeah.
So when they're not champs, they're going to end up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. SmackDown will pick first on Friday. Raw will pick first on Monday, and then the rosters will be locked on Monday, May 6th. So I guess you could do the drafting and then some trades on Friday. I'm guessing or something like that, maybe. Sort of like how regular drafts go and whatnot. But I did.
Well, it says on the 6th, so. Basically, what they're saying too is it's not even locked to next SmackDown.
That's what I'm saying. I could see them doing trading on SmackDown, like trading someone for I'll trade you these 2 people for that person, that sort of thing. Yeah. You do trading after the initial draft. But they did actually release graphics of the pool. So there is your. Let me get rid of that banner so you can see it better. But that is the Friday pool right there.
Kind of weird. Paul Heyman's on there.
Yeah, so I guess you could draft the wise man. It's like, all right, guess
That's
so.
weird.
But you see a
Hey,
little.
remember Cedric Alexander and Shante Dobbs? You guys remember?
Yeah, I got. Is that Trick over on the left? So he's available. Is he? Is that Trick or somebody
No,
else?
that's Cedric
No.
Alexander.
Oh, that is Cedric. Okay.
But I like Ivar's photo there. It looks.
Yeah, Ivar right there in the middle. Braun Breaker, obviously. Hey, Seth Rollins, even though he's injured, he's over there. So somebody could draft him. Roman, Solo, all these Bloodline guys in there. Anderson and Gallows. Yeah, you got Randy Orton. I mean, LA Knight. So, yeah, I mean, good chunk of people there for Friday.
Cool there. Interesting.
Yeah, and then your Monday, a little bit larger, a few more people.
3 hours.
Yeah, but also more picks, like they said, so 24 picks. But you can kind of scroll through and see everybody there.
All of Imperium, all of Kara Cross's team, Damage Control, a lot of groups here.
Yeah, we can see some groups get broken up there. All the people who were injured are available.
All the Judgment Day except for Priest. Yeah.
Except for they announced on social media that Jimmy Uso is hurt and not in the draft pool.
Weird.
Yeah, that story was broke yesterday.
Okay, then why is Punk and why is Rollins and why?
I don't know if it seems like a storyline thing.
It seems like a convenient way to just keep him on SmackDown, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they did do that attack on him, and so maybe they're playing into that or whatever, that he might be out for a while and he's just not going to be there. Maybe he'll make the big return, reunite with Jay at some point, that sort of thing. Yes.
I did hear somewhere like that they might be drafting people to NXT as well, which is the first time they've been doing that. That's kind of weird, interesting, but usually people
so somebody could get downgraded to NXT off the main roster.
NXT, Ava will be there, and she'll have like a pick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's imagine if you're like, I don't know how you'd feel about that. I mean, NXT drafts Braun Breaker. Devin, I just got called up. What are you talking?
We don't want you to go. But yeah, I mean, so obviously we'll be talking about No, but it's weird. We'll be talking about some of the results of that. Obviously, it won't be locked in, but we can talk about some of the happenings once we go live next week.
There's some news from Richie's T-shirt.
What's up?
Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was TNA had their show on
a certain broken star made their way back to TNA.
Several people all returned technically. Yeah, Sammy Callahan is back. Who was it? Broken Hardy and Santana looking great shape too. Is Santana with his first name now, Mike? Yeah. So I like all three returns here. Probably the least hot on Callahan because I don't know what more he has to add that he hasn't added before. But I'm excited for that. The other two, we'll see. It looks like Matt might start a thing with Moose. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Any other pressing news you guys want to talk about? Anything else, JPO, you had going on? Any other minor news stories?
That's what came off of my mind here, from Dynamite and TNA, yeah.
No, totally. So, yeah, a couple of main things outside of there. Why are you in two spots?
Whoa,
why are you doing that? What are you doing? That's weird. Yeah, well, let's get into a little AEW Dynasty, which we saw. Richie joined us a little late. I think you said you caught up on it. Did you? Yay? Nay?
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Okay, gotcha. Just make sure. So yeah, we had AEW Dynasty last Sunday night. It was a good time. I didn't write down all the 0 hour matches, but if you guys wanted to touch on anything from the 0 hour, you're welcome to do so. We had the Beretta Seidel match.
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. Trent Beretta defeated Matt Seidel in 8-12. Good match with predictable finishes, we all knew. Same as Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata defeating Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, in 12:50. That was actually a decent tag match. None of these were bad matches. And then finally, the Bang Bang Club or whatever, Bang Bang Gang, Jay White, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn defeated Max Caster, Anthony Bones, and Billy Gunn to win the AEW Trios titles and maybe suck them into the Ring of Honor one as well. Well, time will tell whether or not those are separate, same. I don't know. 14:45 for that.
Yeah, not much to say here. I had missed those first two. I just saw the final match there, the trios match. Yeah, I mean it was good for what it was, but just kind of a thing to hopefully get rid of a few belts here and there. But we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, on to the actual main show, and we should say congrats. We won't keep you in suspense. Congrats to JPO going completely perfect in his results all night. Finally, just clean sweeping that son of a bitch. And
I feel like that's on a losing streak too.
And not only clean sweeping, but also predicting the correct opening match of Okada and Pac.
Which I fought not to get a point for.
Yes, you almost talked yourself out of that. But yeah, technically you and Richie tying, but you did get that opener, so you were perfect even with that.
This is a good one to start with.
Yeah, no, but it was
booking mine finally pays off.
Yeah, right. But it was a good match to start with because it was a big match to get going, bringing Okada out, kicking him off, seeing Pac again in the ring, a big singles match here in his return. Really, really good stuff to kick it off. Kind of a deliberate pace to begin with. But that's Okada's every match is like a little bit slow to start, but he picks up the pace and kind of gets the crowd into it. Interesting that he's doing this like heel work. He was kind of leaning into it a little bit more. Him having the spot where he goes to do the Rainmaker pose and flips off the crowd. Because they were cheering for him for a good chunk of it. Literally right after he did that, fuck Okada, so turning it on a dime. They played around a little bit with the injury angle, him doing the DDTs to Pac and whatnot. Pac keep trying to hit that red arrow, black arrow, whatever he calls it now. But Okada able to block some of those attempts and get the Rainmaker. Really, really good match to start. JPO, what'd you think of this opener here? Yeah, with Okada.
No, great way to start here. I mean, that's kind of like maybe why I predicted it, because I was like, okay, good way. I'm a big fan of like good singles match. This is what wrestling is. Heel, face, dynamic, bang. Set the pace, set the tone. These two did over 20 minutes here. Won a few matches. What if only, 4 matches in the 20s, if not 30s. So giving plenty of time in 21:55 here. And fantastic opener too. These two work really well together. As shouldn't be surprised to hear that.
No, for sure. We all knew it was going to be a good match, Richie.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to add. These two, kind of similar to Ospreay and Danielson. You're like, well, yeah, there's expectations there, but there's no way this is not going to be, at least a good match. There's two, great wrestlers, and it was a great opener. I probably, should have predicted that it was the opener, but then would be put in a position where hey, we're tied. That's annoying. A great match here. Even though if the result wasn't that was kind of predictable here, but I feel like hopefully it was cool that Pac did get his shine as the international champion that time, and then hopefully at some point he gets another chance to shine as a singles guy. But but it's always good to it's always good to see him on heavy, because he's almost like a part-time, considering he has to go back and forth from UK. So it's always, I'm glad he's able to be utilized here with Okada, and this was great. And I'm sort of it's great heel work by Okada. I haven't really seen much of him as a heel, so I'm liking this Okada. So I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. And right after that, we kept it going with some more trios action. We had the House of Black defeating Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. It was really entertaining stuff. Probably went longer than what I thought it was. JPO, you got that time for how long this one? I think it was longer than I thought it was going to be.
17:48.
Okay, so a little bit longer. I thought it would go closer to maybe 10, 12, that'd just be a little more of a sprint here, but they gave it some time, and not bad. It was very entertaining. Everybody kind of getting their spots. I thought Mark Briscoe was awesome in this match. Every time he got in there doing his just his crazy screams that he does was really entertaining. That was a lot of fun. But they made Brody King look like a pretty good monster in this match, like all trying to hit their finishers on him and put him away. Made him look pretty strong, I thought, and clearly setting up for a future with that finish with the Mist and whatnot. A future, I'm assuming, for Double or Nothing, a TNT title match between Aleister Black Malachi Black and Adam Copeland here. So maybe rekindling. They had a match on pay-per-view, right? Like back in the day, like Battleground or something like that. Years ago. Didn't Edge and Aleister Black have a match back in the day? Didn't they?
No,
they haven't.
By the time Edge is back, like Malachi's not a thing.
No, he wasn't. I could have sworn that was, but am I wrong? Okay. All right, guess not. But I don't know, Richie. What'd you think of this one here?
Yeah, no, it's good. It sort of played out. I mean, what I thought it would. I don't think Malachi and Edge have ever sort of met in the ring together. So yeah, but I think that'd be a kind of a cool feud going forward. Interesting to see with the Mist, because usually sometimes the Mist usually means like character turns. I don't know if that what that means for Copeland, but I don't think he'll turn to be on the horizon just yet. But yeah, no, this is a great fun match. Yeah, didn't expect to go for as long as didn't expect it to go as long as it actually ended up going. But I'm not complaining. It's 6 really great wrestlers. So yeah, no, and I think it makes sense who won. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next. JPO, thoughts on this trio?
Yeah, just a quick fact check here for you. The only other time Edge and Malachi were in the same ring was the 2020 Rumble. Actually, I don't even know if they're in the same ring at the same time. Match wise, it's the only option was the 2020 Rumble. No singles, no 6-mans. This is the other time these two met up. So yeah, this is another one here. Probably not the last one that maybe slightly surpassed expectations. As you said, given plenty of time. Pretty much everything but one match was given a really substantial amount of time here. No, I mean, you mentioned the colorful characters. Mark Briscoe being really entertaining here. Brody shining. Setting up hopefully for future matches there. Edge and Malachi sounds like a really cool thing on paper. So I'm down for that. So yeah, again, good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. We got to the women here, and another one we kind of thought was fairly predictable leading up to what we're going to get, as we'll talk about at the end of the match with Mercedes Moné, but Willow defeating Julia Hart to win that TBS title. A little bit shorter of a match, right? Wasn't this under 10 minutes or so?
Way shorter, yeah. The only match under 10 at 6:02, barely over 5.
6:02. I thought this fell short when we watched it, yeah. So, I mean, kind of a sprint there, hard hitting and whatnot for what it was, but Willow, getting the pin with that Dr. Bomb and winning it, but only to be cut off of her moment, as the announcers talked about, with Mercedes and the CEO coming out there and interrupting her stuff and taking the spotlight and whatnot. So definitely, obviously, setting up for her big kind of singles debut at Double or Nothing. Should be so. Yeah.
So much so that, as we noted during the show, they had that graphic ready.
I know. I was like, well, that's a convenient graphic they had ready to go. But I guess maybe in theory, the winner of this match might have. They could have had, in theory, JPO, a graphic for each outcome. Like you could have had, in theory, a Julia Hart versus Mercedes at Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I've said before, like give me 5 minutes, I'll make a graphic of Pez versus Richie. Like what I mean? Like it's not the hardest thing to do.
No, for sure. But kind of a short match here, JPO. But what'd you think of this and the match they're setting up here?
Yeah, the only short one here, but not in an egregious way. 6:02. There was rumors that Julie might not have been 100% too, so it might have been one that was like, all right, let's not try to extend this. Let's just kind of get to the point here. But still, I thought it was a good match here. I think it was a solid. I think Julie continues to kind of improve in the ring here. And as far as the singles match, I think one of the tighter Julia Hart matches actually that I've seen. Happy for Willow to get it here again. Kind of already. We're setting up the next match here, you know what I mean? Just like we saw in the past with, Rhea and Becky, they were kind of already kind of like, oh, let's go back to that match here. Not a surprise, like you said. Seconds later announced for Money in the Bank, but Money in the Bank, Double or Nothing. Whatever.
Well, hey, they could have their own little. Haven't they had that little goofy Money in the Bank type thing before with the chip?
With the
with the little chip thing or whatever at the top.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
chip
yeah.
ladder match. Like they could do one of those.
I feel like
right?
everyone has their own Money in the Bank thing at this point. I think it's what.
Well, they usually do that when in Vegas. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do another one of those.
But like Richie said, everybody has a Money in the Bank, whether they're not in Vegas or not. Every indie company.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, we even had one. We had a battle royal, like more like a Royal Rumble type thing at United, and yeah, we had a thing where the person got like a Money in the Bank type contract, and we even did one thing where John Davis lost. We did a thing where John Davis lost 2 titles in one night simultaneously. He lost a match to Dagon Breaks it was being held for the USWA title in United Pro. So he lost that match to lose that title, but he was also the United Pro champion. Lance Alante comes out, cashes in his contract because we had another dude that came in and kind of beat up John Davis for a minute, comes out, cashes that in. So he lost 2 titles in the span of about 5 minutes. So he dejected John Davis of the dark.
That's not, at least that's a little bit of a twist, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was fun because it was an interesting way to kind of drop both titles. So yeah, we like you said, every company has one. We even had one in our Georgia promotion. So
I tried finding it. I was like, guys, can we not be like every other company? It's overdone. It's overdone.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do? I wasn't the booker, JPO. I was just the referee for both the matches.
I was the co-booker. I still got overruled. I was like, oh,
yeah, right.
Shit, I hate you.
Yeah, Richie, did you chime in on this one yet?
Yeah. I mean, no, but yeah, it's. I don't know how much that is. Just as I wish they didn't they basically have teased this match since Mercedes came in. Because it's like obviously, they're going to be a rematch from when Mercedes lost the New Japan Strong title, but and obviously it was. They couldn't have a proper match because Mercedes broke her ankle, so they're just redoing that. And so the victory is never sort of in doubt here. And I wish it was, but I wish that it was a bit murky for prediction's sake. But it wasn't. It's just they kind of shoehorned it in. They kind of telegraphed it here a bit. But just on the Money in the Bank thing, at least I know everyone has their own spin on it, but I think one I like the least is that TNA's Feast or Fired, because if you're a company, right, why would you want to risk having you're risking one of your bigger talents getting fired, opening the fired briefcase. Why would you? That doesn't make logical sense. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's you thinking wrestling is real.
No, really. Anyway.
We had our next matchup of the night, another title match for the Intercontinental. I keep wanting to say International.
International.
Yeah, but Roderick Strong defeated Kyle O'Reilly to retain his title here. I thought from a technical standpoint, this was one of the best matches of the night. Man, everything these guys did to each other was really crisp, really clean. Roderick chopped the hell out of him. Kyle kicked the hell out of him. I thought these two guys beat the shit out of each other. I love that Roderick Strong has gone back to every other move he does, even in transition, is a backbreaker. I just like that because that's his gimmick, being the Messiah of the breaker. So it's hey, I'm going to counter this thing into a backbreaker. I'm going to put you on the top rope, then just throw you on it for a backbreaker. And then I'm going to, do a tilt-a-whirl onto the backbreaker. I just love that everything revolves around the backbreaker. I like that. I think that'll work really well. Even in his match against Ospreay, to see if he can counter that, as a storyline in that match. But yeah, I thought this was really, really good. Richie, what did you think of this one? I thought this was great.
Yeah, I this is where I came to the stream, sort of how maybe the tail end of this one, but I saw watched the rest afterwards. Afterwards. It really worked match, but not surprising. These two obviously know each other really well. I'm still trying to get a sense of I don't know where they're going with Kyle O'Reilly. His sort of his new haircut, if you can call it that, is interesting. I don't know, just very good. Yeah, I don't know. It's emo Kyle. We've gone from cool Kyle to emo Kyle. This was really hard hitting, and I'm enjoying Roderick Strong. So that's why I'm when we kind of were talking about Roderick Strong Will Ospreay, I'm like, I don't know if I want, because you don't want to have. I feel like they built themselves on a corner, because I don't want Will Ospreay to lose this quickly, and I don't want Roderick Strong to lose it already. So I don't know what happens there, because I think Roderick Strong should have a pretty lengthy run here, because he's doing some of the best work of his career. But yeah, this match will.
Yeah, JPO.
No, this is one like I'd be gobsmacked if this was anything less than, 3.5, 4 stars. You know what I mean? And no, it meant that I've not surpassed that here. These two have been working well, since they've done some cool stuff in Ring of Honor in the past. Of course, Undisputed Era. So no, this is fun to see here. Happy to see it on the AEW ground as well here. No, it was a really solid match here. The run up to it was kind of just okay, but the match itself, yeah, definitely delivered.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that's a theme with AEW. It's like the storytelling can be a little wonky, but they seem to always deliver the great matches, on pay-per-view.
That's kind of the story for the next 3 matches, or the next 2 on top of this, in a way.
Yeah, the next 2, because we're getting into one of those that I know, JP, you were talking about how weird the story is between Hook and Chris Jericho in the build-up, and how it was just strange storytelling, promos back and forth and whatnot. But yeah, Hook finally once again defending his FTW title, and Chris Jericho besting him for it, with the weird stuff at the end with like the I don't want to do this, don't make me do this stuff, with him just hitting the Judas effect a couple of times, it not working, and then him just smashing him in the face with a baseball bat to finish him off, because that's literally what it was. But one kind of scary spot in this one, they did the trash can thing, let's put the trash can on Jericho's head with his arms kind of trapped down there, and of course the typical kendo stick into it, whatever, and then just picking him up and suplexing him right on top of the trash can. That was kind of scary, given the fact that Jericho can't really defend himself while he's from the suplex in the trash can. That was a little scary and weird. But yeah, the crowd, I think, was another story in this. A couple of interesting chants. Fozzy sucks. Please go home, Jericho. Please retire. A couple of interesting chants. Whether or not that's just St. Louis weird crowd heat, or go home heat, I don't know, or storyline heat, because maybe he's doing his job well. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, JP, talk about the build up to this, and then how you think they kind of worked it into the storyline of this match here.
Yeah, no, the build-up was just wonky, because again, up until this last Dynamite action, we have now confirmed and solidified Jericho is heel now. Mm-hmm. He definitely sold himself as a heel. The learning tree is coming into effect. Maybe Big Bill will be a part of it. Mm-hmm. Even that was actually kind of weird to me, honestly, because Big Bill was like, "Let me be a part of you," and then Jericho was like, "Maybe, I don't know, whatever." But yeah, the build-up is
Jericho have to have passes all the time.
Yeah, no, Jericho's got to do it. Jericho's always got to have a new, T-shirt name. Learning tree. I'm sure there's a T-shirt now in AEW shop. I guarantee it. It's fucking unavailable. I don't know for sure, but I can almost guarantee it without knowing. And yeah, just it was weird. Like, he kind of knocked out Taz, but didn't really sell whether or not he did it on purpose here. So again, the heat wasn't there for like the final spots where it's like, I'm so sorry. Like, this isn't Michael's Flair. This isn't two best friends, two brothers. It was just kind of whatever. The good though, I will say about this. Is, while it probably being maybe my least favorite match of the night, it's not a bad match. It does break up the pace too, because we are coming off of just a great singles contest, hard-hitting, strong O'Reilly. We're about to go into another pretty decent, kind of fight between Tony and Thunder Rosa, and then we're 2 matches away from, match of the night's last match of the year contender. So this is your, fucking tables, chair spot match kind of here. Is it? Oh, the FTW thing. Yeah, that's a new shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, there's already an FTW Jericho shirt on the market right now.
That shirt's ugly.
Yeah. That looks like I could literally make that in 2 seconds. Like, that's not even like cropped or anything. It's just a picture plastered on there. Shirt.
Yeah,
and those shirts aren't cheap. So if you're spending $35 on that, or how much it comes to with shipping,
now I don't know. I'm looking these up. So I went to like images, because I typed in Chris Jericho Learning Tree shirt JPO just to see if there was one yet. These do say it in the description, but none of these websites are AEWshop.com. So these might be
somebody's
like some. Yeah, there might be some like underground, shirt making here, at some alternate websites, that sort of thing. So, because it does look like it's like, hey, let's find a picture of Jericho and a picture of the FTW title and some graphics and some barbed wire and make a shirt. I feel like you could make the shirt if you wanted to. So I don't think this is official. I don't think, but
I don't know. I'll look at his T shop while you guys talk here in a second here. It was fine. 60 minutes 35 maybe could have been a little shorter here. Again, nothing to write home about. But hey, in my opinion, if this is the worst match of the night, or to some maybe the second worst of the night, I think it shows you had a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I I don't know. I think the build up. Yeah, the build up is weird because Jericho always does this thing where he takes lately where he's taking this young person under his wing. I need to turn on them. It's like, how much can you do that? And how often can you do that? When it's like, I don't know. I don't know whether it's like crowd cluing in on the fact that maybe Jericho, because he kind of helped get AEW off the ground. Maybe he's got some kind of he's got some say as to being on the pay-per-view all the time. He's got some power there because it's just, this kind of feels like a match that if you left it off the pay-per-view, wouldn't have mattered. It's interesting that he's calling himself a learning tree because I'm pretty sure, wasn't that a faction in TNA? I'm pretty sure that was with Brian Myers and someone. But anyway, maybe JP.
Oh.
Yeah. The match itself was pretty good. The other scary spot was the Hook doing the exploder suplex through the Joker through the table, and Hook hitting his head on the corner of the table. That looked like it hurt. And then doing the whole I'm sorry, I love you thing, which was weird because it's I guess it's I don't know if it's to mock that, but there's no, it felt unearned. There was no emotional attachment to this. I thought that maybe the crowd was hot all night, but I think they were probably the most they were probably the most dead for this match, even though they weren't I won't call them dead, but they were most quiet for this match because there wasn't any I don't know just. I just think the FTW titles of Trinket. I don't know why it's still getting defended, and this feud hasn't been going on. There's not much investment in it. So, but the match itself was good.
Yeah, I know. I went to the AEW shop website real quick. In the new release shirts, I did not see that shirt, so I think that's a alternate.
No, so
yeah. Now Swerve already has a title shirt. That's official. Whose title?
No, they jumped on that, which is smart.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say about Jericho, which is funny about merch, well, he doesn't have that. He does have a Wizard t-shirt. Remember when he called himself the Wizard for a couple weeks? And then for tag teams, there's a Golden Jets t-shirt, which is him and Omega, which I just they wrestled under the Golden Jets 3 times. And there is a Line Hook t-shirt of him and Hook's team, who again wrestled 2 if not 3 times. So they do jump on shit quickly. And who wants a Line Hook t-shirt for that fucking team?
I feel like those shirts, you should have a clearance spot on your website, and those shirts go down to $10, if you want to. Yeah. You want to pick them up as just a piece of memorabilia for a little while or something to remember, because they're not relevant anymore.
I would do that every once in a while on WWE.com, because they'd be like, I'll take a what was it? Blue pants or what's a weird t-shirt?
When's the NWE? You can use Jericho as an example.
Dragons.
NWE can use Jericho as an example. They had a Y2AJ t-shirt, and then they immediately feuded.
There you go.
And that. There's been a few like that. They even had a t-shirt because it became a meme for a couple of weeks. Where I remember 2019 where Jericho tried to get in the building or he was banned or something, and he yelled out, "I have a ticket," and then they just took a photo of that, and then that was a t-shirt.
He's very. I want to give him credit, but then say, but calm down. He's very quick to try to market stuff to get t-shirt sales, which is great. But then there's you said, the occasion where it's just dude, you said okay, the Wizard, stop it. You're calling yourself, you know what I mean? Not everything is t-shirt.
they're still selling Les Champion t-shirts, the bubbly t-shirts and things like that. Yeah, which is thing for a little. I mean, that was fun for a little while, but then he moved on.
Now, to be fair, don't forget Pro Wrestling Tees is a screen printed thing, so technically they can leave those up there. It's not like they have 100 Les Champion shirts to the side.
Yeah.
Printed kind of per order, so
right.
It's just kind of if you want it, it's still an option.
No, I'm sure they have a library of designs they can just print for you whatever you order. Yeah, no, I'm sure. And I'm just talking about more who would order that now? You know what I mean? Unless you're just being ironic. It's just it's odd.
No.
But I mean, you can get a t-shirt of anything nowadays, especially movies and TV and what you can get a T-shirt of any movie poster that's ever been made. Like it's things like that on websites and whatnot.
Yeah, and people create stuff like if you go on Redbubble or Etsy or something.
Oh yeah, people create their own creative shirts for movies, and they get a piece of it if they sell one, like things like that. No, I mean it's cool. I appreciate that I can go and get any number of hundreds of Tremors T-shirts. I appreciate that. That didn't used to be the thing. You used to have to look really hard at FYE to find those on the wall. So get lucky.
Did you see that guy, the Tremors 5 T-shirt? He's the only one in the country that has one of those.
Yeah, right. What's the one with Jimmy Kennedy on the cover? That's weird. But yeah, we got back to some more women's action as Toni Storm defeated Thunder Rosa to retain her title here. I mean, Thunder, I think, coming out without the face paint. She wore a mask and then took off the mask to reveal she did not have face paint, but Toni did. Back and forth here. Yeah, I thought this was actually a really good match again, and crowd got really into it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the big story come out of this. Thunder. Who was out there too? Mariah May was out there. Somebody else got involved for Thunder, right? Am I remembering this wrong?
Did someone else get involved for Thunder? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know obviously Luther was involved at some point, but
yeah, I mean they did a dive where knocked everybody down, but I mean. Thunder shows some fire here. I thought she looked pretty good, but Toni's still obviously they're keeping the ride going with her for now. But JPO, what do you think of this women's match? It's a little blurry in my head because there were so many matches on this show, and it was right before the match everybody was talking about. So it just is what it is. But hey,
not a major knock to it, but it's not one I think I'll remember much of in like 6 months to a year. But I thought it was still a good match here. I thought they had a little more oomph even than Toni and Deanna, which again goes to show that sometimes it's just there in the ring more than it is in the promos. I like Deanna.
Oh, that's who got involved. Deanna got involved too. That's
right. She did.
Yeah. So kind of showing I don't know if we're gonna lead to a triple threat with them because now they're also teasing. What is this? Serena Deeb wants a piece of it too, so maybe a 4-way double or nothing. I don't know. But I thought it was a good match here. Like I said, the lead up to it was just kind of okay, but I thought that it ended up being a decent match. I think it adds again to the quality of the show here.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, well, they kind of it's been on commentary that Deanna kind of interrupted with that kind of without and Thunder Rosa kind of didn't want her to help, so it was kind of not was ill advised, I guess. So they could probably play off that. I don't know if Deanna's going to turn heel and they're going to have a feud, or that's going to lead to a 4-way because Serena Deeb is in the mix there as babyface. So she's one of the better women on the roster, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, as far as the match goes, I like how obviously Toni Storm has really come into her own in the past year or so because she's you realize she's got really a lot of charisma and she's really funny. But I feel like sometimes there's certain matches and this one where it's you can still be kind of funny and that would be charismatic, but you kind of need to dial it back for if it's a proper fight sort of thing. And I think it was sort of dialed back a little bit, and then it was just sort of this kind of felt like more of a brawl kind of more of a a personal sort of fight, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. And obviously the right person won, but I thought Thunder Rosa looked sort of better than she has been since she's come back, and she's regained a bit of momentum that she's been sorely needed since since being injured and since I don't know since losing the title basically. So I think this was it succeeded on all fronts, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But there we go, and we got to the match maybe a little earlier than we thought, although maybe not. Just interesting placement. I think when we all saw the graphic, we went, "Oh, okay, we're ready for it, cool," and we all perked up kind of in our chairs because it was time for the match that everybody's talking about coming out of the show. Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, the dream match that I was talking to some of the guys on the stream about this, what kind of pressure you had to be under for everybody to think it's going to be a match of the year candidate before they've even had the match, and the kind of pressure they have to live up to for that. That must be tremendous pressure. So, I mean, I think we all knew it was going to be a very good match and a match of the year candidate. I think some people going a little overboard already calling it the match of the century. Let's calm down.
The the best match in American wrestling history.
Yeah, let's relax on that, people, and let it kind of breathe and sit with it for a while and revisit it a couple of times. I did revisit it. I watched it again at the gym this week, so I have seen it twice. Again, just to solidify, it is a phenomenal match. Like, it is absolutely going to be a top tier match of the year candidate that is going to be tough to beat. Like, that is 100% true. I will agree with all of that. It will probably, unless either Ospreay himself is able to top himself, as he seems to do, in a lot of his matches, and get a match of somebody else on the AEW roster that's better than this, or if something else kind of comes out of nowhere and blows us away. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly
Ospreay versus Danielson 2 has.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Hey, it could happen. They could do a sequel, and I would not be surprised if they did. If Ospreay and Swerve, becomes this, some amazing match. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a match. They told a really great story. Hey, you want to know how good the match was? Jim Cornette even praised it. You know what? That's something right there.
Yeah.
Boy, is he quick to dunk on just about anything. AEW. But surprisingly enough, you can go listen to the segment. He said this match was excellent and he enjoyed it. So you know what? Maybe it's his love of Bryan Danielson taking over more than Ospreay, because he is a big fan of Danielson. He thinks he's like the best wrestler going right now, and I can't really argue with him. He's great. But yeah, counter after counter. These two guys, again, don't underestimate the fact that these guys beat the shit out of each other in this match with those strikes, and yeah, the punches and the chops and the kicks and the knee strikes and everything in between. My God, that one spot where they hit the hidden blade, and then Ospreay went to go do the Oz Cutter, and Bryan Danielson with pinpoint fucking accuracy nailed him right on the jaw with the knee. Like, oh my God, was that
the psycho knee?
Yeah, where we all thought he hit him in the back of the head, and they showed the replay from the other angle, and he actually hit him like in the side of the jaw. I was like, oh my God, how did he do that so perfectly? That was amazing. But yeah, the tiger suplex off the top rope was nasty. That was gross. Yeah, Ospreay doing his kind of Hurricane Rana flip out, counter thing. That was great. The only I say with nitpick, I didn't love the sort of, storyline injury angle thing out of the Tiger Bomb, but I guess that's going to be something they'll play into in the future of,
David Reddy does on it on both the scrum and this past.
I was going to say, I was going to ask you if they followed up with the JPO as far as
twice actually. So yeah, it's very much becoming a thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I figured they would be like kind of a storyline thing, but hell of a match coming out of this one. Richie, your thoughts on this one overall? I think we were all going crazy for it on the actual stream and having a good time with it, but your thoughts kind of reflecting on it here.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was okay.
It was amazing. This match ruled. A lot of pressure, expectations to live up to, but I think they delivered. That psycho knee right on the money was like amazing. Like, you couldn't. It's sort of like and you can't believe that. Like, I didn't rehearse that. Like, it's like that. It's like when Randy Orton hit that RKO from Tib and Bourne like very perfectly, and they didn't rehearse that. It's just like sometimes it's just like magic. Things just happen. Just in the moment, things just happen. It's really great. Just some crazy spots. Yeah, you mentioned the tiger suplex right at the top, right on his head. I'm like, holy shit! It's just phenomenal match. Like, they've just been the absolute piss at each other. I wasn't a huge fan of like the ending here, because I don't know, because if you go look back, like, it's like he probably even took like quite a safe like tiger grabber, all things considered, like the one with Kenny Omega that he did a few months ago, looked a lot worse. But and I don't know, and considering like Bryan Danielson has like a big history of injuries and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that. But I guess it's just to set up something down the line, or just to give him time off. I don't know. But it took away from the match a little bit. But I think it's a phenomenal match. Don't know if I would say the best in America, best wrestling match in America or whatever, but still a very, very good match. And I think that the press conference, Ospreay was like, I'm retiring the move or something. But I think it could lead to a spot where out of desperation, he just does the move again. So, great match.
Yeah, JPO, what do you think of this one overall? I know we had a good time with it on the stream for sure.
Well, Richie stole my joke because I totally wanted to be the first one to be like, meh.
Man, maybe what 2.5, 3
Solid
stars
2,
tops. I mean,
2.5.
okay.
No, this had kind of like Pez kind of joked and hinted at, match of the year all over it, and that's heavy expectations. And kudos to them for living up to those expectations here. This turned out to be the dream that you had kind of hoped it would be, which is I walked in definitely with those heavy like worries that like, all right, I don't know, but no, I think they absolutely came to play today here. Was it 32 something? I believe I have written down. Yeah, 32:45. Plenty of time and doesn't necessarily feel 30 minutes too. You know what I mean? Like this is a good match that will have you synchroned in the entire way. It doesn't feel like a 30-minute wrestling match. What was I going to say here too? Yeah, no, I don't even mind the injury aspect of the end here because I kind of really like it to a degree because I think it kind of shows how hard people go, but that at the end of the day they are still human. He did say he was going to retire the move, and then on Wednesday you even had Don Callis like, all right, double or nothing, fucking hit that move on Roddy, and he's like, no, bruv. I said, not that move again, bruv. Like, like as if like it does truly bother him and whatnot. So I kind of like that they're kind of playing into that, and like Richie said too, it could have fun angles of either maybe that's how he wins the title down the line. That he finally goes, fuck it, I gotta do it, kind of thing. Yeah. Turns heel with it, or just desperation and whatnot. Who knows? But I think it's a kind of a fun, different way to tackle it. And yeah, as far as match of the night. And then I can almost guarantee at the end of the year, it's at least going to be a nomination, if not the winner of match of the year.
Yeah, no, it's definitely kind of in the lead right now. I mean, and I was there for Will Ospreay and Takeshita, which was, an absolute banger, match of the year candidate. So Will Ospreay already in AEW racking up, his 2 pay-per-view matches already top tier match of the year candidates one after another. I didn't even see the TV matches, JP. I heard the Claudio Castagnoli match was great.
Of course. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good. Yeah, no, and Claudio's amazing. Yeah,
he's over too, even on Wednesday because he was like the 4th out, let's say, whatever. Huge pop because he wasn't announced for the match, so the gauntlet match. So when he did come out, like Jacksonville was fucking
yeah. No, good
stuff. When we get to our year-end show, it'll be like our top 5: Will Ospreay versus Will Ospreay versus Will Ospreay versus
Will Ospreay versus whoever else he faces. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong. Will Ospreay versus Swerve.
We could very well just rename instead of match of the year just Ospreay match of the year.
The Will Ospreay, which won match of the year? Yes, that's correct. But again, plenty of the year to go, so we won't count it out immediately. But yeah, it seems like he could only top himself at this point. But yeah, and a couple of tough acts to follow, right afterwards. But hey, full credit to everybody involved in the final 2 matches. They got the crowd involved. They kept them, alive and awake and into everything. It took a few minutes for our next match of the ladder match, Young Bucks defeating FTR to become the tag team champions. But yeah, full credit. They went out there and it was a different type of match, so I'm sure that helped. Lots of plunder and whatnot. Essentially a TLC match by the time it was end of it. Some chairs involved, some tables involved, lots of stuff involved. So basically kind of became a TLC match. But yeah, and lots and lots of crazy spots. Too many to mention here, but 450s through tables and pile drivers on ladders, ladder bridges, and all kinds of craziness. Shatter machines off of ladders, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, and the scapegoat, Jack Perry, under a Sting mask of all things, interfered and knocked some of the FTR guys off the ladders, helped the Young Bucks win the titles here and making his appearance as we all kind of thought he would. But yeah, JPO, your thoughts on the Young Bucks here? I think, pretty predictable here, given where they're probably going to go, storyline wise. But again, not to say it wasn't a lot of fun, though, really entertaining.
No, I'm with you 100 on this. Yeah, first of all, actually, I know we were all kind of like not expecting the last match to be the placement, but in retrospect, perfect booking actually, because you have banger of a singles, more of a plunder chaos match than banger of a singles, you know what I mean? So the placement actually makes perfect sense for this to break it up here. And what a great way to end the show too, because again, like you said, hard to follow it up here, but instead of just trying to have a normal singles match, you have a great crazy ladder match here. I thought definitely a way more memorable match than what we saw in Mania. I thought these 4 went pretty hard, a little bit of blood, some memorable moments, and then the Jack Perry thing. Many called it, you know what I mean? Because it seemed perfect, good heel waiver. The Bucks to help win the titles back here, and that's what we did. We now have Nicholas and Matthew as your tag champs again. So But yeah, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, Rich, any thoughts on this ladder
Yeah,
match?
yeah, great ladder match, and great, great memorable sort of spots. Yeah, like there's sort of spots that like, yeah, I'm amazed that they come back in one piece. So there was like that spot, I think it was Cash Wheeler. He went for like a Big E type. He did a Big E type spear through the rope. It was like almost like a pound. So then like Nick Jackson's head hit the guardrail or really hard. I'm like, oh shit.
He went like Nick like went like ass first through the table, but then he went backwards and his head hit the guardrail. That was pretty scary.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, the guardrail was worse than the table. Yeah, that looked a little rough.
There was a lot. There wasn't a great. It wasn't. I will say it's not a great night for tables. A lot of the tables like used but didn't break on first go. Like not even this match, but like if we get to the next match here as well. But like but like it's a really good match. Even if we maybe people like me and JPO and some others like predicted the finish because it just makes makes sense. And like I think. I think Jake. If anything, I think maybe the running of CM Punk has actually helped Jake Perry's career. I think, in a way, I think he's probably gonna be in a position where he would not otherwise sort of be. I think he would have just been a heel mid card dude, and now he's he's going to be sort of featured as like a main player. I don't know how if that will last, but it's good for now. But I think it's. It was a really good match, and I'm looking. I think it's the right call because I think there's a lot of mileages. Like the kind of the smarmy prick heel bosses as champions. So I'm looking to see where they go next.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll see where they go with this. Obviously, they're doing something with Tony Khan and Jack Perry, but the Elite kind of establishes themselves, as a dominant faction getting going. And then we got to our main event of the evening. That I think at that point, it's like, oh yeah, we still had this match to go as well, and but we weren't. I would say like we all predicted. Swerve to win the title, but I think we were still kind of like, are they going to do it, or are they going to keep Joe for a little bit? But no, they did pull the trigger on it, and yes, Swerve Strickland, whose title? It's Swerve's title. As he defeated Samoa Joe in the singles match. Not many like shenanigans or anything. Prince Nana really not getting involved in this one. It was a very clean match as far as no other real interference and whatnot. And it was just a simple story. Samoa Joe's the big, tough bruiser, bigger and stronger, but Swerve kind of using his technique, using his speed, getting it back and forth. And he finally won with a big double stomp out of the corner and won the title. And of course, the crowd appropriately just going crazy. Yeah, not like the match of the night or anything, obviously, but I thought they still told a really good story. And it was a really nice moment to end the pay-per-view on. I think that's what we all said. Hey, we kind of all know Ospreay Danielson is going to be the match of the night and whatnot, but they can still end the pay-per-view with a really cool moment and give Swerve still the that big pictures and story come out of the match. So Richie, what do you think of this main event here?
Yeah, no, a great match. There were moments where I'm like, maybe I think it was Jacob's prediction and his rationale. I'm like, you know what, that makes kind of sense. Where it's like, is it Wrestle Dreams? It's Tacoma. So I'm like, yeah, but you want to strike with the iron sight. So, but like it did think, made me think that it's really, there were some, still some crazy spots. There was like a muscle buster on the floor.
He did that power slam on the concrete when he pulled Joe pulled the mats back. Running power slam thing to Swerve on that was pretty nasty.
Yeah. There's a great touch when Swerve came out. He's like wearing a Jimmy Rave, sort of homage to Jimmy Rave. Prince Nana.
And hey, kudos to JPO. You were the first one out of our group to catch that. You were like, is that
right
Rave?
away? I was like,
is that Rave's row from the embassy?
OG Jimmy Rave.
No, and people were posting side by side shots confirming that it was one of Rave's robes, and then cool, and one of those technically things. He wasn't dressed like Black Panther. He's dressed like Killmonger.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the gold, not the black and white. It was like the black and gold thing thing, which is a Killmonger thing. But no, cool. Anyways, good interest.
Yeah,
Go
yeah. R.I.P. Jimmy Rave. But yeah, that was cool thing. Like it was a great match. There's only like one wonky spot, but they recovered pretty well. It was like Joe's out of place for like I think it was out of place for a stop at some point. But yeah, it was awkward, but they recovered pretty well. And yeah, no, it was a great moment. I thought it was good that like sort of once Swerve got the victory, like Joe got out there pretty quickly to let Swerve have his moment. It's a really cool story from a guy, a guy who was signed WWE, had a lot of promise, but didn't really, he was saddled with a faction that could only go so far. Hit Row wasn't a great gimmick, and then it was like, hey, no, we're gonna release you. It's like what? That was like one of the most jarring releases ever, and then kind of proving himself, as a main player all these years, and then he's another. I think we talked about it before. He's another guy sort of like Cody. In a couple of years, I just see him because he's raised his stock, so I just see it. In a couple of years when Triple H will be like, oh, your contract's running out. Okay, cool. And offering him a lot of money, and then him getting a bigger push and kind of staying at that level. So I don't think the big moments of Swerve are over. So
no, JPO, cool story here, Swerve. Yeah, like you said, even going into the match, a guy who just floundered kind of in NXT. They didn't do much with him, didn't see the potential. He was in Lucha Underground for a little while too, as a kill shot, right? Just kind of in there. And now he's on top of the mountain in this other company. And I like Richie said, I could see him. Maybe WWE takes a look at him in a couple of years when that contract, expires. You know what I mean? And makes him an offer. Like we could definitely see that.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, he had an okay NXT run. He did have North American title, but he had literally like one SmackDown match. Like it's one of those crazy ones. Like when Kevin Brown him's like 2 matches and they're cooled on him. Swerve literally had like 1 or 2 and then they fired him. So I think this is another great story of like you had him, and it's not like you had him, 5-10 years ago and he just got better. Like no, you had him at his peak too, and you fucked up. So I love it. I love stories like that here too. So he had a decent debut. I was actually there for his debut, at least his first match anyway. On Rampage, I was there for it, and to see him now come all the way to the title is pretty cool here. I was able to work with him once. He's a cool dude, so well worth it. You know what I mean? He's out right now. It's Swerve's house. As someone else pointed out, I was thought it was a little weird out that Dynamite, they just put him in a quick throwaway match with Fletcher instead of just having him have like a nice kind of like winning moment, which I thought maybe they could have done. But as far as this match, I thought they told a pretty good story here. Good match here. Kind of did what they could. You know what I mean? Again, this is a stacked card, but I think this deserves quality level to be there as much as anything else. And ends on pay-per-view on a really high note here. And I really like last AEW pay-per-view. I think maybe match per match, though, this might have even topped it. And I think this is definitely a tender for not only we talk about match of the year, but probably partially because
show of the year.
I mean, again, there is not a bad match like that dropped the ball here. There's a quick women's match here that's a little short, but again, not a bad short. And then even the Jericho thing's at least a little something different compared to just the bangers of singles matches we had. 1 6-man, like another good women's match. Like this kind of checks off every box.
Yeah, no, this is a great title match, a great way to end the show. Like I said, with Young Bucks is a good ladder match.
A lot of title matches, a lot of title changes too. Only one retained was Tony. Otherwise, we saw new women's or new TBS women's, new world, Roddy retained.
Roddy retained, yeah.
Might be, but we saw a few title changes. So we saw the change of the guard a couple times.
Was Okada, was that for the Continental title as well?
Oh, and he retained too. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say
3 title changes. Okay, we did see 3, so there was.
So we had a mix. Never
mind. But we did see at least. It wasn't like everybody.
To your credit, like there are so many damn titles. I can't remember like who's got.
I guess because I saw 3 and I was like, that's most of everything, right? And
right.
So many titles.
I can't remember who's got what and when, other than some of the main ones. So I can't keep up.
I wouldn't be surprised because WWE did it too, where there's a moment where it's like we have the European and the hardcore and the IC, and then they killed them off. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if this is a way to kill off the international. If the Ring of Honor trios are dead, wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, and just wind it back a little bit. You can have a couple of titles. I'm fine with that,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's too many.
Right now, you have, is it 3 singles men's in the mid card? You got the TNT, you got the Continental and the International.
Yeah, and then
singles? I don't know.
Yeah, and then you're still defending some of the Ring of Honor titles on AEW TV on
Yeah, those
occasion.
pop up occasionally. Yeah, which is a whole other thing, but
yeah, that's a whole nother group of titles. You got all the different trios titles and the tag titles and the FTW title.
That six man we talked about, Edge and Malachi, also could have set up a Ring of Honor title match and New Japan title match because
right.
title too.
Yeah. So excellent show. I'm sure we'll be talking about it at the end of the year. Yeah, like I said, that and Revolution are top contenders for shows of the year as of right now for sure. So it might just be the little nitpicks, which one you rank higher, emotional moments versus match quality, vice versa, whatever it is. But yeah, again, they deliver on pay-per-view, man. I'll give them credit. AEW, that's why I usually don't mind grabbing these shows and us watching them because they're always going to deliver some excellent wrestling.
Even if you're totally not into the story here, the match quality usually is good than not. And this one on paper had potential, and it delivered more than anything.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think that'll just about wrap it up. JPO, you did win that, as we said, win the predictions.
Yes.
Have you settled on what you would like us to get started on or do next week? In addition to, we should say we'll be doing Backlash predictions next week, so that will be a part of next week's show. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about the draft. We'll have some draft results, some things going on. So I'm sure there'll be some news here and there. But that Backlash and whatever JPO would like us to do because you won. So. What you got for us?
Yeah, I'm looking for the Backlash predictions. That's going to be fun to talk some WWE next week. Mm-hmm. But yes, so thank you to our friend at Malcolm. I asked, can we steal your show? And he said yes. So we're going to steal Rank 'em, which is a top 12 show. It's kind of a panel show where someone will nominate. So it's going to be the top wrestlers of all time. But we're going to do decades, when we do these. So we'll start with the 80s and below. So if you want to fucking do Luthez or I don't know, whatever, Hackenschmidt, you can. But the 80s and below, top 12. And again, the way it works is that Pez says, I nominate SD Jones. And then it's up to the next four.
And then we laugh at you.
And then we laugh and we say no.
I don't want to give a real nomination, so I use the fake
yes.
And then it's up to the next 4 panels. We'll have a guest. I believe Jacob Cameron will.
Jacob Cameron will be an honorary Lonely Mark next week. He's agreed to. So that we don't have an infinite amount of ties. We need that tiebreaker vote. So
it's easier when it's 5 people. That way it can be, because basically he needs at least 2 people to agree. He would need me and Richie per se to agree. Yes, SC Jones belongs, even if Cameron and Barber say no, or 3 of us can agree for him. But at least 2 of us have to agree with whoever is nominating the person, and then we get in. Then once there's 12, the list is done, and then we kind of rank them.
We start voting. Yeah, we start ranking it from there. So I've done enough rankums to where I can take lead and actually host it. And kind of be Malcolm next week, and but it will be your idea.
But I think that'll be fun here. We've done some drafts and countdowns, and this is a different way to kind of.
This is something we can work in like a once a month thing.
Of course, we have done 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then the 10s. We'll have an all-timer draft or an all-timer top 12 as well.
I know. Yeah, for sure. We can
start with the 80s here.
Yeah, and it's something we can revisit, maybe once a month or so until we get to it. Yeah, whenever we have one of those lighter weeks that doesn't have like a pay-per-view review or a whole lot going on, one of those like slower weeks, we can bring back to the 90s.
And it's a fun way too to bring in a potential 5th person here, because I would like to mix it up. You know what I mean? We got bringing that we have different opinions, different inputs.
Yeah, for sure. So, we'll do that next week, like I said, along with whatever other news pops up. And then we'll be doing our predictions for Backlash out of Paris, France, which should be a lot of fun. Pay-per-view.
Technically, I guess we'll talk about it when we get there, but we could technically stream that together. It's not that early.
What time is that one going live since it's international?
1 o'clock, I want to say.
On Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Yeah, let me look that up. Start time. Let's see.
Check what that is Australian.
Let's see. The show will start
1 p.m. for me, Florida.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
I forget Richie's on the other side of the world. I don't know what
that is. No, I don't want to open your app. I just want to read the article. Stupid.
Well, Pez, what time is it for you right now?
Well, I know. I was just looking to make sure. Is it on a Saturday or Sunday, May 4th?
Saturday.
Okay, I'll be at work, so somebody else will have to stream. So I'll have to watch it.
Okay, that's fine. No, I was just okay. That's fine.
No, I work 7 to 4 on Saturday, so I will not be here to host a stream. So somebody else. I mean, if you want to watch along, it's not a huge show. If we watch it on replay, it's no big deal.
I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's always fun to do that when possible.
Oh no, totally, yeah. But I forgot the France thing will be different. So yeah, 12:30
Richard, are you awake?
Eastern time. He's probably asleep by then.
12:30 Eastern. Ooh, yeah, that's
4 o'clock.
Yeah, that is
that would be like super early morning for you, I think.
Yeah, like I probably have to watch it on a replay when I get my friends.
So maybe you and Barber, JPO, if you want to watch it together. I don't know. That's up to you.
No, like I said, Barber, whoever.
Yeah. But yeah, so that'll be going on. I'll watch it when I get home from work. It'll be over by then, and I can just pop it on that night for sure. Yeah. But I like the fact that they're doing these international interviews. I hope that guarantees we get good crowds. I know we've had really good crowds for these overseas, big shows and whatnot. The Puerto Rico show, even the last Saudi Arabia show had a loud crowd. London and whatnot. So these guys are putting out the hot crowds. So I hope that's the case with France. It should be. I remember watching a Raw from France. Right? Was that the last time they were there for like a Monday Night Raw? And like La Resistance was like the baby faces in the match. I want to remember. I think they did one.
From France. I've done one from Italy. That's where Santino Marella debuted.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was a little run where they were doing a couple of those. They did one from Tokyo one time, and Tajiri was like in the main event or something.
He went tag times with like William Regal.
It'd
be interesting. I think they're going to Saudi soon as well. When you talk about Saudi,
King of the Ring.
And Gunther just announced he's winning King of the Ring, so he's winning that.
I was gonna say, what? You hope not.
I hope not.
I would like to see Gunther win King of the Ring. King Gunther sounds pretty good to me.
He champ for 700 days.
That's a way for him to win that and then get into the world title picture. I think it makes perfect sense.
I think saying I was the 700-day champ for the IC title is enough. But all right.
I'm just saying it'd be a good way to build him right back up from losing that title.
And I do want him in the title picture. I'm just saying I'm a fan of Spread the Love, and I feel like he's had a lot of love.
I mean, I think he could win that and then milk it for a little while. He doesn't then have to go off the title immediately. He could be King Gunther for a while.
As long as he's not.
That's what I'm saying. Spread the love as in he doesn't need to be the king already. Like he just came off a big ass title win. Spread the love.
Okay, King Dragunov. That's fine with me.
Hey, there you go. See, now
as long as it's not, at least it's not a kiss of death like that. Like it used to be. Remember when like Sheamus won? He had that goofy crowd and he had to lose all the time.
It was low-key. It was low-key Sheamus.
King Corbin.
Yeah, King Corbin. Yeah, I think it didn't do.
Was it Wade Barrett King?
It didn't do Bad News Barrett any good.
Barrett.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember how the reign went. I'm just saying, was it Wade Barrett? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll make an allusion to that on commentary. So it's on commentary.
I want to say
is King of the Ring.
Oh no, there's Booker T, right? Yeah, I was to say
Booker T. It did well. Wow. I think William Regal did well for it at some point, but then like his push got canned because he drug.
No, it did well for like a month, and then they like squashed into somebody, and then we're like, why are we pushing Regal? Like it was weird.
No, King Kurt was good. He wore the crown for a little while and played around with it, and and then got him in the title
King
picture.
Kurt
so
led back into the title picture.
If they do it right, it can easily go back into the title picture.
That's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, Brock literally won it in June and then was champ by August. Like Brock's was a good one, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's wrap things up. That'll do it for this week for the Lonely Marks. Hopefully we'll get Barber back next week, obviously, and we'll get another Jacob. We'll get Cameron on here. We'll do some rank 'em. We'll let him join in on our predictions if he wants to join in our predictions as an honorary Lonely Mark that night, and get everybody's backlash predictions. That'll be fun. But Richie, what you got going on? Anything you want to plug and part with here tonight?
Just you can find me really. I'm also do stand up sometimes. Although I'm worried that Jacob's gonna surpass me now.
Here's the thing. Okay, Jacob's become famous. Do you think we can at least get a guest spot on his national?
Oh yeah, you get guest spot. Yeah, look, I'll open. And
it'd be funny if Jacob was like, I don't know, send me some tape. I'll talk to my agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you don't, I'll make sure I'll bring a baby in the audience and don't cry. Yeah, that's. I don't know if you've heard that story, Arch Barker. But anyway, but yeah. But you can find me. I think Why We Love Horror, kind of match with Kevin Post coming up. It should be fun. Speaking of Rankin, I'll be on Rankin this week doing Robin Williams. Robin Williams movies with Jacob Barber. So Jacob Barber's on there. So it should be fun.
Austin didn't invite me this week. I must have pissed him off.
But I don't know. Maybe you have to talk to him. You could, and all other trivia spaces. Everywhere there, and if you want to, accompany me because I'm lonely, a lonely Mark. I'm watching a Fall Guy tomorrow. So yeah, you can watch Fall Guy with me tomorrow if you're in Australia and Brisbane specifically and watching.
Oh, okay. Well, we can all do very specific location plugs because I've got one. So JPO, I'm sure JPO has some location-specific plugs as well for wrestling. Yeah.
I thought you just said just in the movies. And I was like, yeah, if you want to come to Fort Myers and go see, I really want to see Civil War, or I forget the challenge.
I was gonna say, I'll be in Jacksonville this weekend, not only for a show, but if anybody wants to go watch The Mummy with me Saturday at like noon, you can come with me and see The Mummy Saturday at noon, and be giddy with me. That's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, my normal channels, you got the Periscope doing some ASATs, which had ASAT earlier today. Richie was on that, as well as continuing. Hopefully, we're finishing up the tag team tournament soon. I'll be hitting up the last 2 matches. We had a couple people that, of course, went on vacation as soon as was done round 1. So I'll be hopefully finishing that up next week, actually, and then we continue on with the other rounds as well. And Why We Love Horror, I also just did one. I believe it dropped already, which I hope it did because I totally spoiled it during the last ASAT. So it's either a spoiler or it's a real spoiler because it's not released. So oopsies. Me and Steve Mesa, Ski Ulrich team.
I'm on that same drop because I've got my singles match against Bill Carriola on that drop.
Is it out yet?
I think he drops them on Friday nights, I believe. So it's probably not out
yet.
Well,
after.
Yeah. Well, you don't know who won mine, so tune in for mine and then just hang out for JPO's right afterwards. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Fun tag match. I'm sure with Pez as well here. So
it was a good match. It was
Why We Love Horror. This channel as well. I believe I'm on the TV episode for Friday, so you'll see my face on the channel again Friday, where we talk about a bunch of TV shows. We're still arguing in the chat about how we're going to work that rating system. But other places too. Pierce Wrestling as well. Fun over there. And this is fun. Looking forward to next week as well. I think that's gonna be fun doing our debut of Rankum and talking Backlash.
Yeah, no, it'll be a stacked show, but we'll have a good time. We'll Backlash shouldn't have probably more than 6 matches. Seems like the average for those shows lately, so there probably won't be too much to actually predict. Hopefully, they'll have the card locked in by next week. We'll see, and then we'll do the Rankum. That'll be fun. As far as what I got going on, I will be at a live wrestling show this weekend, USWA in Jacksonville, Florida, at the National Guard Armory, Snyder Armory. If you happen to be in that area, you can come see me reffing. Bobby Fish will be in action. If you like to see Tyler, his former partner, in action. We got some good stuff going on there. We always put on good shows, so come check it out. I'll be on a podcast about movies with Jacob. We'll be starting our anniversary series with 1974 movies, so you can tune in for that late Sunday night. And then I'll also be on that same drop with JPO on Why We Love Horror. Got a singles match. He's got a tag match. Double dose of us doing some horror trivia, and then just stuff we got on Movie Hero Network. Got the TV tier record, which I will not be on. I'll be in Jacksonville, but I believe Jordan and Malcolm will be hosting that one. JP will be on there. I did the tier maker, the tier chart for him, and sent that to him today, so that's done.
Good.
So it should be easy. So it's finished, so it shouldn't be any problems there. Just bug Jordan about getting the stream ready on time. That's all you got to do. So the tier maker's done.
I feel like Malcolm's got to jump at one point. So.
I think Malcolm's gonna run the tier ranker, and then Jordan's gonna host the stream, something like that. So, but I sent it to both of them. Anyways, and then we've got his mystery birthday tier ranker on Tuesday, and then I believe Zach Sheldon's top 64 on Friday. So that's what we got going on the channel. Thank you for everybody who tuned in while we were live. Anybody who tunes in after the fact, we really appreciate it. And
Backlash, get going. You only got 2 matches announced. Backlash.
I know. Raw is going to be chock full of drafting, and hopefully Backlash match announcements.
I guess. Yeah, I guess with that. Yeah, I guess we have a full.
Well, we do have SmackDown tomorrow night too, so I'm sure they'll match.
Yeah,
at least something tomorrow night, and maybe another match or
title matches, which at least they're good. They're interesting title matches. So.
Yeah. So, but we'll talk about that. Hopefully, they get that kind of at least finalized and whatnot, and we'll talk about that next week. So, should be a lot of fun next week. So, for Richie, for JPO, for myself, Austin, is how we'll see you next time here on the Lonely Marks. Bye, everyone.